Howdy Earthlings! I've been trying to get mastery on all of the tunes. It's been really fun, it's a good way to keep myself motivated while I work on getting the other tunes unlocked. But there is one character I played where I felt like they don't serve a purpose in the game. One that can be replaced by pretty much any other tune and it would improve the run. And I'm not talking about Shrimpo. There's another one, and you've read the title. It's Brusha. When playing Brusha, I realized just how much she sucks, and that's gonna upset some people, I'm sure. I'm not saying you shouldn't play her. If you like her and you like her aesthetic, go ahead. I like her aesthetic too. I'm just saying she's not a great tune, and she doesn't really make sense in a team. Her niche is one that didn't really need anyone in it. I'll explain though, so please hear me out before you get upset and start typing. Okay, here's the explanation. She just sucks. That's it. Kidding, I have an actual reason, of course. So you look at Brusha's stats, and she has 3 HP, normal, 4 skill check, 3 move, 3 stamina, 2 stealth, and 3 extract. Pretty normal for a skill-based extractor. Her stats are exactly what you'd expect for that role. Mathematically speaking, it makes sense too, as her stat layout is the inverse of Roger's. Roger is an extraction-based extractor, so this juxtaposition makes sense. What I think sucks about Brusha is her ability, Artistic Inspiration. When activated, it creates a short-range aura that increases skill check of allies by 50%. While active, Brusha is slowed by 25% until deactivated. Once you activate it, you can't deactivate it for 5 seconds, and when you do deactivate it, you can't activate it again for another 5 more seconds. Using her ability takes her out of the game and doesn't give enough of a boost to warrant removal of her. Increasing the skill check of another player in favor of her doing a machine is a waste of a player. As you can already figure out, it would always be faster for Brusha to do a machine of her own and finish it, especially if you're using trinkets to boost extraction gains from skill checks, because the only tunes faster than her will be similar high skill check tunes with similar trinkets, or those with a higher extract than her who would benefit from a skill check boost. But that's a very small pool of characters. Most high extract characters have a good to high skill check and wouldn't need the boost, so chances are the characters you're boosting are still going to be slower than if Brusha took over the machine instead. The only situation I find Brusha good in is if you can't get to machines before other players. In that case, you're better off boosting another player. That won't last forever though. I'm usually one of the better players in the lobby, and even when surrounded by awesome players like those in my stream, I'm still usually alive longer than half the team. Eventually I will reach a point as Brusha where I'm alive and most other extractors aren't, and now I have a useless ability again. And if I have V mode on, it's only going to be used for that one machine. I haven't been playing super long, a little over a month now, I think a month and a week now, but I have 3 mains, so I have been playing quite a bit, and I have all the research besides Dial and Dandy. But say the tune I'm boosting had VMO. They've already used their 1 free extract, that's why I'm sitting here able to boost them. If you're lucky, they have an extraction or skill-based trinket for their second trinket. As Brusha, I'm wearing Participation Award and Magnifying Glass, because total time spent on machines is faster than VMO since it doesn't work on the last half of the machines on the floor. I'll have to explain why I don't use VMO in a separate video, basically, math reasons. If 3 other people are using it, then you just don't need it. Especially if you outlive everyone and you're doing 8+ machines alone, because the first machine would be instant, and then all the other ones would be slow. But if you were using Participation Trophy and Magnifying Glass, doing 8 machines alone is faster with those 2 trinkets than it is with VMO. Anyway, if your V mode is down, I'm faster than you. So instead of having me buff you, get off the machine and let me do it. I'm faster. The only tunes that would be better than her would be other extractors with either VMO active or the same trinket setup. But when playing with randoms, you're not able to guarantee you're going to get more qualified extractors, especially those with the right trinkets. She is only helpful in a pre-made lobby, but even then, she is left just standing there, doing nothing, when she could be out there looking for an unoccupied machine. Even then, a player doing this is going to get bored. So a spot for Brusha would be better filled with almost literally any other extractor, like Shelly, who can do machines better and has a buff that doesn't require her to babysit the extractor and can go find another machine to do at the same time. The only defense I can think of is she has a lower stealth than some of the other extractors, so she can take any approaching twisted away so the extractor doesn't have to stop what they're doing. What would I do to make her better though? Easy. Just make it so her aura isn't an aura. Instead, make it so she targets a single player, gives them a timed buff, and then she can go back to doing her own thing, like Shelly, but for skill checks. It'd be less useful than Shelly's buff, but still better than Brusha's current aura. And it's normal for a regular tune to be a little weaker than a main, but usually a regular tune is useful in their own way, not Brusha. So a change like this might still keep Brusha in the not a good tune zone. Alternatively, make it so that she can leave a buff on a machine for the next person to use, so she could buff the machine and then use it herself, and it would benefit her or anyone who goes and uses that machine. The issue with fixes that remove her aura defeat the purpose of her design. Brusha was added fairly recently, so I'm guessing her using an aura is for some other reason than because it's the best fit for the character. My guess is it's to make it so Toy Kit is usable on more than just Bobette. But that doesn't really make sense because increasing the size of Brusha's aura wouldn't benefit anyone because the extractor that she's buffing is always going to be standing still. Also, it doesn't make sense because Bob and Toy Kit can only be received during the winter holiday events. If there isn't a way for Brusha to earn an aura-based trinket out of season, then there isn't a reason that she has to be aura-based. If you're going to remove an extractor from the game in favor of babysitting another player, then she should be so good at buffing the other player that they are as fast as 2 toons combined. It's weird that she's so mediocre, even for a regular toon when she's so recent a character. If I didn't know that she came out just last year, just before Christmas, I would have sworn that she was like one of the early characters because her ability is just not that good. The main thing is that her ability is bad, and a toon that doesn't have an ability is effectively worse than Boxton, because at least Boxton's ability works and has a point and doesn't involve removing Boxton from gameplay. She doesn't fill out a niche nicely or anything. She's just another extractor of many extractors, and probably the worst one for the job, besides Shrimpo. She's just bad, or at least her design isn't thought out well. Her role, effect, and participation in gameplay was more about filling a niche that wasn't filled, and less about what she contributes to that niche, and how she would make the game better by fulfilling that niche. But design-wise, like appearance-wise, that's the dev's strong suit. She looks great. She looks like the kind of mean girl who talk trash about her friends, or like an artistic mean gay. Being a furry, I know a lot of artistic mean gays. It's okay. That's not derogatory. They know who they are. I'm not someone who has power over toons or how they're made or patched, so how should we go about playing her as she is? How do we make do? First, pretend her ability doesn't exist. Next, go do machines. Use trinkets that enhance skill check rewards like Participation Award and Magnifying Glass. You don't need VMO if at least 2 other people have one. Magnifying Glass gives us more completion for a successful skill check, but makes the checks 33% smaller. Award makes checks happen more frequently, but makes the checks even smaller still. Since Brusha has 4 stars in skill check, her checks are still very easy with these debuffs, so that's more reward for checks, and increased frequency of checks to capitalize on that bonus. It used to be Brusha had a combo that would give her unlimited stamina that was patched. People would use this to distract, but I think even if it wasn't patched, it would still be a waste. There are better distractors, even better than her with infinite stamina, because their toolkit enables it. I really think you're better off playing a different extractor, as there isn't anything she does that another toon doesn't do the same with a good ability, or just better. If you have to play Brusha, like you absolutely have to, like you need the mastery, I'd rather see you on machines. It finishes the floor much faster. In summary, tips for Brusha. 1. Use trinkets that are based around skill checks and skill check rewards. I think VMO would only be good if your team stays alive a long time. I think long run, Magnifying Glass, and Award would be much better if you're consistently hitting more than 1 machine a floor. 2. Your stealth is 2 stars. Stay away from the distractor. You can use this to your advantage to shield an extractor you're buffing by leading the twisted away from them. 3. If there are other machines available, do not waste your time with buffing another player. Go find one of those other machines. Especially if the person extracting isn't a great extractor, because with the right trinkets, you're faster than them, even when you're buffing them. 4. Only use the buff when you're next to a player and you're sure that it's safe. Your speed is reduced by 1/4 when painting, so don't go paint mode because for 5 seconds minimum, you'll be trapped in paint mode. 5. Don't equip snakes in a can. It doesn't work on Brusha. You're stuck with the 5-second cooldown. It's not that bad. 6. The only situation the buff is better than you doing a machine alone is if you and the buffed player are on the last machine for the floor, but it's not that big of a difference, so I wouldn't blame you if you use this time to get back to the elevator instead. Alright, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to tip your YouTuber. I take likes, subs, and various tubes of paint that will help me paint happy little trees and bushes. Also, supporters. For just $1 a month, you can help me make videos like this and get your name in the credits, and if you join as a member on YouTube, you get emotes that you can use in my live streams on Tuesdays and Fridays, which you should absolutely check out. We all get together and we all play together, and it's very fun and very cool. Since there's no more chat anymore, you're kind of stuck just having to listen to me, but you know, people say that I make the game more fun, so I'll take their word for it. So extra special thanks to my supporters like Am, Nebazi, Aspirant Artist, Paper, Faye Penguin, Momentary Unicorn, Aurora the Puppy Moth, Nat, Marius, Yeenie, Worm Syrup, Rask, Beef, Colorado Blue, Vaderson, Linky, Addy, The Ace with No Trace, Spikejack, Rask again, Willie Pete, TG Dante, Linky again, and Malding Brick. I think this is the longest that the list has ever been. Jeez, I'm a little winded after this one. I'll see you all later. I need to drink the biggest glass of water. Bye.